Here's the biggest risk to attending college. If you start college but don't finish it, then you've wasted all the tuition you paid without anything to show for it. It's even worse if you took out loans to pay for tuition. In that case, you have debt but no diploma. One way to increase the probability of people finishing college is by shortening the amount of time it takes for students to graduate. There are two ways we can do this. First, we can make college year-round instead of semester-based. I've already discussed that idea in the previous video. The second thing we can do is to provide more frequent off-ramps, which are times that students can leave college after earning something of value. As it currently works, students only have one off-ramp in college, which is graduation. This off-ramp typically occurs at the end of 4 years, but for some people who take longer to graduate, it might take 5 or 6 years. I think it's ridiculous that the only college off-ramp occurs at the earliest at the end of year 4. So here's how I would include additional off-ramps for students before the 4th year. The first off-ramp will be at the end of the first year of college after a student has taken the required first-year classes. I'm proposing that all college students take the same classes their first year. I'll explain these classes over several videos that are coming up, but to preview, these first-year classes cover job assessments and career preparation skills that benefit any person going into any job at any time, including students who don't return to college after the end of the first year. Leaving at this off-ramp wouldn't be a waste of 1 year of tuition money because, as I just mentioned, these classes should be a benefit to the student no matter what they do in the future. The second off-ramp is at the end of a student's major, which might be as soon as the end of the second year of college. As mentioned in previous videos, I want to do 2 things that will allow students to start their major coursework much sooner. First, I want to end gen ed classes. Second, I want to make college year-round. These 2 things mean that I want students taking classes in their major at the beginning of year 2 and graduating with a degree in their major by the time they finish their coursework, which could be as soon as the end of year 2 or no later than the end of year 3. This off-ramp is essentially shortening the amount of time it takes to graduate because 1, you're taking your major classes sooner, and 2, I'm decoupling other majors and minors from graduation. More to come on that last point in a second. At the end of the second off-ramp, you'll have graduated with 1 major and received your diploma. You can immediately go work at this point if you can find a job. But what if you can't get a job? Or you need some help getting one? That leads to the next off-ramp. The next off-ramp happens after you complete a year-long college-sponsored internship with an employer. I believe colleges should help place students in internships related to their major or support students who find their own internships. The best time for this internship is after the student has completed their major coursework. During the internship, the student will pay no tuition or low tuition to the college. I'll talk a lot more about this internship in a later video in another section. During the internship, the student can be job hunting so that once the internship is over, the student can off-ramp into a full-time job and thus be done with college. The final off-ramps happen at different times after the internship if a student decides to come back to college for more education. The main point for these off-ramps is that I don't want additional education like a second major or a minor or an enrichment experience like study abroad to delay you from graduating with a diploma from your first major, since the diploma is what employers look for in hiring.